Much care for the color.
Right fielder, Juan Gonzalez.
Here's our little room. If it looks small, it's because it is. Hi, dear.
Hi.
What you drinking there?
Black cherry pop.
Your feet hurt.
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
Going on a tour. Whole city tour. 2 days.
Good deal.
People had stashed $9 million in the ceiling. The IRS got wind of it. They came in there, they checked it out, and guess what? $9 million was in the ceiling. All the rest are islands, and they're interconnected by bridges and/or tunnels. So you're on an island on a 3-hour tour. My name ain't Gilligan. Though. You can't hear me? You can't hear me up there? Test. All right, it runs another 170 miles all the way up to the state capital, Albany, New York. So anybody that jogs while they're in New York, this is the street to get on. You ain't running out of space. There appears to be a lot of traffic in Manhattan right in this area, in particular right now because they're doing a lot of construction in New York City, especially in the Manhattan area. They have plans to build a high-rise hotel down in Times Square, 4 high-rise office buildings, renovating most of the theaters, the subway system underneath, and trolley car across 42nd Street. So that's why there's a lot of traffic down here. The majority of people do not take their cars down here, I'll show you that. Most of them take the subway, and if you really want a good tour, around 5:30 tonight, I suggest you get on a train. You know, just go anywhere, it doesn't matter. You'll get a real subway tour of New York City. You really know what it feels like to be a New Yorker. No, go straight down, make a right here. Make a right, go straight down 34th Street. Okay, as soon as we make the turn here on your right-hand side, you'll see the CBS Theater. This is home to David Letterman. This is also in the United States. Now, on the next block is another one of our theaters. This is Broadway Theater, and currently playing there is Miss Saigon. 2 blocks down on your left-hand side is the Winter Garden Theater, and that's playing Cats. Now, Cats has been playing since 1982. Has no New York Times building. It's now the Warner Brothers building. This is where we have the New Year's Eve celebration each year. Every year at 11:59 on New Year's Eve, a ball descends from the top of that flagpole. It takes a full minute for it to reach the bottom, at which time it's New Year's. Now, they celebrate New Year's with laser lights. It's viewed by millions of people worldwide on the television, and a couple 100,000 people come here each year despite the cold weather. However, next year, all the hotels have already been booked as of January 2nd for the millennium. So you're not even going to be able to get a hotel room here. All right, on your left-hand side, this is tickets. This is where you can get tickets for the same day. They have price. Now that's only our tickets that they have. Now, a block down on your left-hand side, you'll see Virgin Records. And according to Virgin Records, that's the largest mega store in the United States. That's where all the recording artists, when they're in New York, come and sign their albums.
Oh no, that's.
We've had a couple people here the last couple of weeks. We've had Ricky Martin here forever. It feels like he's moved here. We've also had the Backstreet Boys and Jordan Knight, formerly of New Kids on the Block, signed their albums down here last week. Now the reason being is across the street on the next block on your right-hand side on the second floor above Lindy's is MTV. And that's where all the recording artists, largest atrium they have, and glass closed elevators zip up and down in the atrium. And you can dine on the 48th floor in a revolving restaurant near Times Square. Okay, they're not filming right now.
That's where
Bummer.
I said, oh, okay.
movies in New York, you guys do the Uptown tour, you go by a lot of celebrity residences. However, what we have down here is on West 43rd Street is Angela Lansbury, and on West 42nd Street lives Maureen McGovern. Now coming up on 42nd Street, on your right-hand side, you'll see the Disney complex. It's quite a large complex. It covers about a third of the block. Playing in the Amsterdam Theater is, which is one of New York's oldest theaters, is The Lion King. Now, unfortunately, you're not going to get tickets for that show for half price. That's the hottest show in New York.
Right there. Where's the Amsterdam Theater? All I would do is get in a cab in town. Seems to me why has been adjusted. Because it's in the mall. They are. Where is the This is fantastic. Okay, I think I'm adjusting this.
The subway station. See?
Everywhere you look. You spend so much time sitting. But that's why. Oh, there's Parsons School.
Giant Serenade.
A lot of people
Going to, we're not stealing them, we do work here.
District 7th Avenue.
Now we're going to go down to 34th Street. We're going to turn on 34th Street and go by Macy's and the Empire State Building. If you look down about 4 blocks, on your right-hand side you see a giant billboard. It's changing colors. That's the back entrance to Madison Square Garden. It's just for shoppers. Now, Macy's does a lot of sponsoring in New York. They sponsor the flower show, sponsor the Thanksgiving Day Parade, 4th of July fireworks. Now, you all know during Christmas time, Miracle on 34th Street, Chris Kringle worked for Macy's. It's open till about midnight, and you get a better view of the city.
How do prices compare with name brand things like Estee Lauder products and all of that? So what you say, right name, anywhere from
it out too much. Cool. Hey, there's the
get that thing that through this.
That's Central Park's right ahead there, dear. See that?
Oh, it's not difficult.
Sure is neat, eh?
Yeah.
Look at all the buildings.
Bailey.
It was known as the Ladies' Mile, and around 1900 there were 10 department stores located in this area. And because fancy ladies would go shopping at them, they would be driven up here in their horses and carriages. And so the area was dubbed the Ladies' Mile. And you see a lot of nice, old, beautiful buildings. On the right, that tall monolithic building. Easily recognizable, nothing else looks like them. These old Shepherd's Crook lampposts, and they still use them. If we turn left, we'd be turning to East 14th Street, but we're turning right, we're turning on to West 14th Street. And we're going to be seeing the building that housed the original R.H. Macy and Company. Look up. Isn't that an unusual building? Mr. Macy, behind us on the left, the building with the bright yellow awning. That was the original R.H. Macy and Company building.
Down here where it says electric.
And since Mr. Macy had been in the whaling business, when he opened his retail store in order to get now, as we cross our next intersection, 6th Avenue, if you look left, you will get a view of the two twin towers in the World Trade Center, 110 stories. Twin towers to the left.
Looking for this. And some Kiss records. We're in Greenwich Village right now. Jim's just looking in the record store. And we're going to go and have some pizza pretty soon.
Me too. I like wait, but I don't like heat.
Except we're opposite during the day. I can stay warm during the day, and with the slightest, breeze, she's freezing. She wouldn't even put the top down in Colorado.
So he has a great nest on.
This is the beginning of the World Trade Center. Jim's in line getting a ticket for us. Lots of people everywhere. After we get the ticket, then I think we go that way.
Is the United Nations headquarters along the bank of the East River. Multicolored flags of the 180 member nations line the property. Wherever you go in this wondrous city, whether atop the World Trade Center or window shopping on Fifth Avenue, you can feel the energy of New York City, and you can be sure that you'll remember it forever. In just a few moments, you will see New York like you've never seen it before. We invite you to continue your journey now and experience Manhattan Magic. The 1,250-foot structure was built in record time, more than 4 floors per week. Today, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, more than 1,350 feet high, rule the skies. On a clear day from the observation deck,
State Building there?
Yeah.
see, they're very structurally sound, and I don't think that that would have been a possibility. But unfortunately, 8 people did lose their lives and thousands of people were injured. And if you do get a chance to go up to the top of Tower Number 2, right in the back, between Tower Number 2 and the Marriott World Trade Center, where you buy your tickets on the 2nd floor, there is a memorial to the people that lost their lives, and I would suggest that you, if it the Downtown Athletic Club. And although in 1771 that fence to protect the statue of King George of England, and when the Revolutionary War started, as a matter of fact, July 9, 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was read here in New York City, they ripped down the statue of King George and sent it off to Connecticut to turn it into ammunition. 400 British soldiers were killed with that statue, but the fence remains from that time. So several hundred years of this being a major shipping port and ships coming in and burning down. Remember, old ships used to just be made out of wood. The only way that they could get rid of the fires was just to throw dirt on them. And what happened was these ships, the combination of the wood and the dirt that they had, created a landfill. And over the years they brought more and more onto this landfill. And so we now have Front and South Streets. We're coming down to South Street, but we'll be making a left going up towards South Street Seaport. And over in front of us, as I said, the East River, and straight across from us, Brooklyn Heights, the first suburb of Manhattan. Many of these buildings have been refurbished and turned into shopping centers. This at one time was a major hotel right down here. We're going to be stopping at South Street Seaport to pick up some passengers. Pedestrian traffic. It was not designed for automobiles. When it opened, it was the first suspension bridge in the state. Their lives that they didn't think they would actually make it across. In the first week, more than 20 people were killed. As panic ensued, people would try and get across and run back, and people were killed. Area. We're going to be entering the area known as Chinatown. Outside of the population of mainland China, the largest population of Chinese people in the world is right here in New York City's Chinatown. Our next stop is going to be the United Nations Plaza, and as I was saying, if you want to get a free trip home, here's what you do. And this is if you want to get a free trip home. Of course, both last week's concert at Rockefeller Center, Ricky Martin, you missed it. The Jack Eyes played today for anybody. We could all sing that new Jennifer Lopez song. Not. Jennifer, 50 stories tall, is the administrative building, and the building to the far left-hand corner of the plaza is the General Assembly building. This is all built, this was opened up in 1950, but this was all originally, this whole area was slaughterhouses all along First Avenue, and they finally turned them in. Hey, those people got off. And this construction site on our left-hand side, this is where Donald Trump is building a new building, and we don't exactly know how tall. He wants to go 125 plus stories. They don't want him to go more than 60. They're afraid if he goes more than 60, it's going to block off the sunlight to the whole east side. Again, the 1916 thing. But they've been digging the foundation on this building for over a year now. So they built the Empire State Building in 17 months. So that way they figured that everybody would be happy. The problem is that the dum-dum who thought of the New York this summer This is a very nice, quiet neighborhood. Right off of First Avenue, where many celebrities live and have lived. Katharine Hepburn and Richard Chamberlain both live in this neighborhood down here off of First Avenue and 39th. Some celebrities that have lived here in the past: Betty Davis, Humphrey Bogart, and the late Greta Garbo. As you can see, a nice quiet neighborhood when she didn't want to talk to anybody and she wanted to be alone. She could be left alone down here because there's hardly any traffic. Somebody's shoes. Hey, can I get those? Different places. Not every floor has been, it's not symmetrical like normal buildings are. The reason for that is the IBM building, and it was designed as a computer punch card. And actually, a friend of mine, this is a very difficult project we worked on one day. A friend of mine is a programmer, and he's really, really good. 30. We crossed the building in a race with the Empire State Building to see who could be the tallest and fastest built, and the Chrysler Building opening first, and actually putting that big needle at the top of it as just a way to try and make the building taller.
Well, we're at the end of it.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's where the ball drops, right here.
Jim's in yet another video store. Looking for discs. This is a very big one. Right by Times Square. It's got another part over there at the back. What he most likes is those Kiss dolls. Only $1,600. Not bad. I said he could get them if he wanted.
That would be country.
There's a couple more Kiss things. There's some more Kiss stuff.
Okay, it's not as a rush there. Okay. Okay. All right.
New York City.
Hi, dear.
Hi.
Tell us where we are.
We're at the Statue of Liberty.
There she is. right up there. Beautiful day today.
Nakatayo na ba ako? Or nakaupo?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Sige.
That was hopeless.
How do I
Hi, Lise.
Oh, you go!
A big walk across, a large crowd of people gathered together to walk across the bridge to prove that it was sturdy.
We are heading up back to Jefferson. We'll be reaching Houston Parkway, and to the left, if you look, you will see the Grand Army Plaza, the library. That's close on the Avenue Chandelier in Paris. On our right, as we come up here, we're going to see the Brooklyn Museum of Art. This is very popular building over neighborhoods like Park Slope and Brooklyn Heights. Originally they were built with one family, and today they're divided into 5 or 6 different apartments. The price of the brownstone depends, of course.
The Ed Sullivan Show was broadcast for over 20 years. This is where the Beatles had their performance after their triumphal arrival here in New York, after they had a #1 record in the United States. Also Presley. Remember, that's the one where they darkened the lower portion of the screen because they didn't think the folks at home were ready to view the gyrations of his lower body. Of course, times they've changed continuously. Please sit down. You must remain seated while the bus is in motion, or you will get off the bus. Thank you. We do have low-hanging street fixtures, and we do not want to damage city property. Now you might wonder how they can sell half-price tickets for today's show. Well, they do it because these are tickets that would not otherwise be sold at full price at the box office. So the producers of the shows know in advance which ones are not going to sell, and so they turn them over to the TKTS people to be sold at the reduced price. That eliminates the need of having a two-tiered system at the box office.
And so then you have one location to come and line up for your half price, 4 tickets for tonight's show. So if you get in line there, you're pretty much assured of getting a ticket. If you're not directly ahead of us, you see at the end of Times Square the Cup of Noodles advertisement, and above that the Discover card. That flagpole on the top of the Discover card is the flagpole that the illuminated ball begins to descend 1 minute to midnight. At midnight, the ball touches the top of the building and fireworks go off and everyone wishes themselves a Happy New Year. Then they go home, or they go to a bar or a restaurant or a hotel, and within an hour, this area is reopened to traffic. It's kind of amazing, 250,000 people last year can gather and then dissipate so quickly. But under the streets here in the avenues here, right under us here on Broadway, 7th Avenue to our left, Times Square on a Saturday night. Over here on the right, the vacant lot is going to be the new home of the Reuters news agency. And over here on the right, you also see the New Amsterdam Theater, where The Lion King is being produced. The Lion King is a live production based on the cartoon feature with a few extra songs and dances. The New York Knicks and the New York Rangers. Now this is 34th Street, Macy's. Did someone request to get off here? 300 feet tall, 21 stories. When it was planned, many people thought it wouldn't stand up. They said the wind will blow it over. It's so narrow. Well, it has stood up through the years and certainly is a popular building in photography. I wanted to point out the building here on the left across the park with the lantern on top. That's the Metropolitan Life Insurance Tower. And in 1912, when the Titanic set sail, that was the tallest building in the world. Of course, the biggest ship at the time is at the bottom of the sea. And to this day, one of the reasons people like to come and visit big cities is because of the big department stores. Up in the suburbs, you have the malls and you have the Walmarts and the Kmarts that we don't have here in New York. East River, and you see the Williamsburg Bridge, the third suspension bridge in succession, placed high across the East River. The bridges are so high to allow for off the ocean and come up the East River. If you look to the left, you can see the Statue of Liberty in the distance. And if you look behind you, you can see the Verrazano-New Bridge. That's the bridge.
Are you gonna have it done?
Còn đến nơi thì ăn chụp thì cả bộ.
Turn it slightly. Lincoln Navigator limo. I heard some guy talking about that.
You should videotape it.
Take a few pictures. It may actually be one more straight.
Hi, Lise. Here's our huge room. Hold your picture up, dear.
Looks like me.
You bet.
Plant the foundation.
If you look at that tall building with a point on it, that is the El Dorado, and that was where Faye Dunaway lived for many years before moving to Los Angeles, and that's where Dudley Moore also lived until unfortunately he passed away. We'll be turning on 96th Street. Again, Central Park was built in that case just duck. They're very small branches. Up ahead of you, on the other side of the Hudson River, is New Jersey and continental United States. Of course, Manhattan is an island, so is Brooklyn and Queens. They're part of Long Island. Staten Island, of course, is an island pharmacy on the right. One of the stranger-looking pharmacies anywhere. Very classical looking pharmacies that really looks like a bank. Here on the left, people are leaving this Sunday sermon. And coming up, a church that has real, and I mean real, Louis Comfort Tiffany windows. And we'll be driving. It is more than 100 years old. It's the cathedral, and it is the largest church in the world. We'll be stopping here again for 15 minutes, and let's call it at
Happy birthday, Lise. Lisa's birthday today.
The largest bell in the world, 74 tons of bell, and the largest carillon system in the world, or the bell system. On the hour. I've always been 5 or 6 minutes after or before or whatever. And the bell system on top of it. Grant's tomb. Who is buried in Grant's tomb? Anybody? No. No one is buried in Grant's tomb. In fact, they're entombed. They're above ground. You can go through those doors and see the sarcophagi of Julia and Ulysses S. Grant. It's been newly renovated. It was graffiti scarred to Albany, New York, if you wish, or the mosaic benches here at Grant's tomb. It's a lovely, very peaceful area of the city. And you drive across the street. That is the Jewish Theological Seminary. That is a seminary that trains Reform rabbis for service throughout the U.S. This is the 1 and the 2 lines. 700. Very surprising to a lot of people that they don't see bombed out buildings. And you'll see that there are well-maintained public housing units here on the right and the left. Very peaceful. And we'll be making a right and seeing some of the rehab buildings here. There's a partnership between private capital, private banks, as well as the government. It's approximately 50% share. And more and more banks are coming in to Harlem. Apollo Theater is up ahead, world-renowned Apollo Theater. That's where Diana Ross, Bill Cosby, Chris Rock, other musicians got their start. Duke Ellington got to start there, and we'll have see a statue of Duke near Central Park and in Harlem. Right across the street from the Apollo will be the tall building you see up on the upper left-hand corner. That is the tallest building in Harlem. That is the Adam Clayton Powell State Office Building. Jimmy Jazz, a very successful business inside. Again, it's a square block building, and some of the people who lived there are Arthur Miller back in 1915. He started out life there as a young kid, and 1920s and 1930s. You can see what it needs is some steam cleaning, and it will look exactly like the Dakota. Many of these buildings are beautiful architecturally, and again, they need some rehab work, and they'll be outstanding shape. Here on the right, the Onion Dome. That is the Malcolm Shabazz or Malcolm X mosque, and he also has a primary and secondary school here. He also has a business outreach service here, and to help business in the Harlem area. In fact, there's a market right on the opposite side of the street, which will come. The Guggenheim, and it does have eating facilities, and it's a beautiful interior space. Again, you could take the elevator off. There's art from around the world. There's an African section, number of exhibits here, and again, it's the third largest museum in the world. Okay, the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Maybe the Louvre?
The block after that is where Woody Allen lives, here at 927. So, did anybody get their fill of celebrities? Okay, you got enough to the best toy store in America. On your left-hand side, CBS will build the morning show set there with Fine Couple, and that will be beginning in September. Ahead of you, Paris Theater, if you want a foreign language film in the foreign language. This film is in Italian.
No. Hi guys.
Hi. So long, New York.
Bye.
Bye,
So long,
New York.
suckers.
Bye, Milford Plaza.
Wilford.
Wilford, Milford, they're all the same. Tracy all day.
So you're on.
She's going.
Riding in style.
Bye. Okay.
So there's pretty glasses and everything here. A courtesy for driving. Yeah. I mean, traffic here is nuts, but people aren't getting. They don't get all upset about it.
No, and there wasn't accidents either. Like, you can walk around 7 days in Calgary, you'll see accidents happen.
Yeah.
Here, we didn't even see any accidents.
Well, I got one foot in the brake, one on the gas.